Are CPAs infallible? Well, the intuitive answer should be they're human beings and therefore they're not infallible. Of course they're not. But let's actually drill into this and talk about what a CPA really is. So full disclosure, I'm not a CPA and I don't want to be. And we're going to talk about what it means to be or not to be a CPA here in a little bit. A certified public accountant in the United States is certified by the American Institute of Public Accountants. Now, the AICPA is not a government organization per se. What they are is a trade organization. They certify people who have met certain requirements and sit for certain exams, and then they become CPAs. Now, people tend to associate CPA with tax professional. And this association is kind of a misnomer because a lot of CPAs don't even work in tax at all. There are a lot of CPAs who exclusively work, say, in finance or in other areas of accounting. And a lot of the best CPAs I've ever worked with, personally, who I consider great colleagues, were finance guys. They were CFOs, they worked in finance, they were some of the best bookkeepers I've ever met. They knew accounting on a deep level and it made them very, very good at their jobs. Now, a CPA can practice tax, and many of them do, but you have to understand, in order to practice tax in the United States, in order to prepare a tax return for compensation, you must have something called a PTIN. You have to apply for a PTIN with the Internal Revenue Service. They actually provide the PTINs, and then you have to renew it every year. And every firm that files taxes has to have something called an EFIN in order to participate in e-file. If they file more than 10 returns per year, they have to have that EFIN. And there are other professional designations people can have as well. You can have the unenrolled tax preparer. That's just someone who has a PTIN. Someone who doesn't have a CPA, doesn't have even a degree in some cases. They just have a PTIN. And those people are legally allowed to prepare taxes for compensation. There's also something called the enrolled agent. And while the CPA is more of a broad certification, the enrolled agent is actually a IRS-based certification. You sit for a tax-focused set of exams and you become an IRS enrolled agent, and that's what we call an EA. Some of the best tax people are EAs, and definitely some of the best tax resolution people, people who represent clients before the IRS, have an EA background, but a lot of people don't even know that designation exists. So as far as the CPAs are concerned, and as far as all these designations are concerned, you don't want to arbitrarily search for someone based on a professional designation. It's important that you understand what it is you need from a tax professional, and then you find somebody who can provide you with that. They might be a CPA, they might be an attorney, they might be an enrolled agent, or they might be an unenrolled tax preparer like me. I don't have a college degree. I don't want a college degree. I don't have a CPA and I don't want a CPA. There's other requirements that come with being a CPA, and it just would not have a large enough net benefit for me to go through all this effort to go and get my certified public accountant degree. But as many of my clients will testify, that doesn't make me any less of a tax professional. And certainly an enrolled agent who sat for the AA exam but doesn't have a college degree can still be a very, very competent tax professional. In many cases, more competent than a lot of the CPAs whose work I've examined. Now, we're talking about this because people tend to have the wrong mindset around their taxes. If you're in the business world, if you're an entrepreneur, you've probably seen mindset material on everything from marketing, sales, but no one ever talks about your mindset around your taxes. But the thing about your mindset is the way you think about things is going to affect your choices and your actions, and the choices and actions you take are ultimately going to affect your outcomes. So some people, they have it in their head that only a CPA can prepare taxes, and by having that mentality, you're cutting out a very large portion of professionals who may actually be able to offer you more than your local CPA can. So by knowing what a CPA really is and knowing what else is out there, it's easier for you to let go of maybe some of these old paradigms and really look for someone who suits you well. Someone who gives you what you need. Do you just need tax prep? Do you need tax strategy? Do you need someone who can spend more time and educate you and consult you on your options and make sure you understand them thoroughly? That should be the person you're looking for, not someone who just has a couple letters after their name. Hopefully this opened up your mind to some new ideas that you didn't have before. Make sure you check out some of our other videos, and our friends over at reallifetrading.com teach people how to trade stock. If you ever wondered how people are able to make predictions on how they think a stock's going to move, they teach that over there. So I recommend checking it out, reallifetrading.com. That's going to do it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.